What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 19 of Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the entirety of the old world. So last time our Errantry war ended up on the shores of Norska, and we do have Wulfric the Wanderer and Felman Ingerson. Lots of monsters all around Pack Ice Bay. I think we're going to slip around and head up towards the Trollfjord. We just need a solid place to make a base camp. Currently kind of setting up our troops to be reinforced. Lost a few coming across the ocean in one small battle, though we did kill a couple of mammoths in it. Well, a mammoth and devastated the other two, though we could be in for a fight with Wulfric coming up here pretty quick. And down in this region, Paravon finally decided to collaborate with us. And hopefully we'll get to Quinnell before the Wood Elves decide to take it over. I'd rather not go to war with the Wood Elves, but we'll see what happens. They are a pretty strong force, all things considered. That's a lot of dryads. A lot of dryads. And treekin. But it is Durthu, so makes a little bit of sense. And of course they've got their garrison there, so if we have to go into the Forest of Loren, we're going to need some more troops. Which means we should probably bring Shifroy and his friend back up towards the forests. I am still worried about Talea doing something silly, but right now they're kind of a lesser threat. They don't like us, but they don't hate us either.
Do not greet me as a friend, nor are we foes yet.
So we don't really have to worry about them too much right now. And down in the south, Eddie took out a bunch of rebels and has kind of secured the law and order in this part. It's really helped by breaking them down. And then over here we have Furix in the south and Ahriman up in the north doing some scouting for us to see what's going on. It's a lot of lava and destruction for a place that's not got a whole lot of, well, it's got 25% almost. Chaos corruption. Okay. And then Ahriman is up in the mountains here to do some scouting for the areas that we haven't yet worked out. Use them. We don't really have any other lords or ladies all set up just yet. The Empire is doing some good work. If only they would have actually taken Castle Drakenhof on our last turn. That would have been great. But Franz decided, no, we're just going to beat down the army stack that's there. Yeah, instead of taking the castle, because you won the battle. But there's not really much else that we can do for this turn. We could consider starting to build up another army somewhere. But we'll have to go with that as we go. We'll see what happens in the other nations' turns. And hopefully, we'll get to see Franz actually destroy the vampires. He just keeps attacking them, but he doesn't destroy them. Come on, Franz, you've got the strongest military in the old world right now. Why aren't you just taking out the vamps? I mean, look at that. Army with, what, 7 great sword units? Demigryph knights, 2 rocket batteries? You have all of these great troops and you're not completely trashing? Sometimes I wonder about the Empire. Be really nice if they started taking those vampire cities. Or if we could get an army together to go and take them ourselves. But that's a long way to travel for very little reward. Come to think of it, I don't know what the Wood Elves think about the Empire. Because if the Empire went to war with them, well, pieces of Athel Loren would fall to the Empire, but we'd be able to have a lot stronger of a front. so sad that I've waffled back and forth between kill the elves or save the elves or kill the elves or save the elves. They've been a thorn in our side this entire time. Now, if they would have just been content to stay within their forested realm, that would have worked out for us. But of course they won't. It's kind of surprising that... Wait, the Wood Elves declared war on the dwarves? And they took Quenelle. Which means we're going to have to go to war with the Wood Elves. Something I definitely didn't want to do, but apparently we'll have to. And they went into raiding camp stance. So they're probably going to try and get some more troops. And what's Lothern doing? Oh, Wolfric tried to ambush, but failed. And Clan Moore's all the way down in the southeast. Caragorud has to be a Skaven city. Definitely is. Sometimes they make it easy to tell. Sometimes you can't really tell if it's just ruins or not. And Lashiek just gets devastated again. Wondering why the Tomb Kings of Khemri aren't taking that city. It would make sense to me to take the city, but apparently not to them. Just leaves them open to the Disciples of Nagash. I think it's the Disciples of Nagash in the southwest. Unless they're already gone. Followers of Nagash. And they're going after Xandri again, I think. Kislev just declared war on Norska.
I am King Leoncor. So, do you come to Bretonnia as friend or enemy?
Yeah, we're not signing a non-aggression pact with any of the Tomb King's armies. So, there's that. So it looks like the Wood Elves are at war with the dwarves now. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this was a noble lady we were just going to use to recapture Quenelle, but... Lowborn militia, peasants, a paladin. Probably have to rename that to something of ours.
Guardian.
In the meantime, though,
You honor me.
just to set everything up all proper, we'll leave her name as is.
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
Bring our lords from the south up here. So that when we do eventually go to war with the elves, we're all set for it.
You seek the lady's favor.
And Lewin, you can go into an encamp stance for now. I'm wondering if, because of that war declaration, if Norska will pull out of their attack on us. I'd like that extra turn to have the infantry that we've been queuing up here to get done, along with the extra knights. See how it ends up turning out. And man, the orcs are really spread all over, aren't they? And we just discovered the Crooked Moon Mutinous Gits. I don't see the city that we discovered that they're in. For the next little bit, it's going to be a lot of exploration. We're going to have to really focus down on the Wood Elves. And there's the Arachnos goblins? Yes, orcs and goblins. I don't want to go to war with Khemri, though. Because they're all over the place up here right now. And as long as we're on okay terms with them, I'm fine with that. We're not going to ally with them, of course. But we're neutral, which helps out a fair bit. It's just going to come down to a careful balancing act of what we do. Is there anything special in Artois? They should really have the jousting lanes there, but they don't. And we only have 1,400 gold right now. Far cry from getting the Corone tournament grounds. We're 10% of the way there. I'll have to see what Norska does. I mean, why are the dwarves at war with them? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's going to come down to a pretty big fight in this area here pretty quick. As soon as we take Quenelle, we get the entire region of Paravon, and that allows us to push forward towards the woods. I'd love it if we could just claim Quenelle and then peace out with the elves. The big thing is, if you go into the Forest of Loren, there's attrition in there. That's just because it's the Forest of Loren. But if you take out the Oak of Ages, you can negate all of that attrition. But Durthu and Daith have the larger army stacks, and they're up in the north. I don't even see their legendary lord. He's probably in King's Glade. Alright, so before we send it off to the other nations, thinking about up here, I don't want to get caught by Wulfric. I mean, he's got a mammoth. This army has a couple of 3 mammoths in it. That's a lot to deal with. So why don't we make a beeline around the coast? It's not exactly what I wanted to do. It's definitely not how I wanted the Errantry War to start working. But it keeps the Norskins distracted and keeps us out of their combat range. That's fine and dandy, even if we have to circle back into the mountains or further up the coast. Work out. Apparently we got 7,000 gold from somewhere. Alright, we'll let the other nations do their thing here pretty quick. See what they do. Huh. Is the Empire actually going to go try and take Drakenhof? I think they might be. Oh, they just beat down the armies again. Didn't end up taking Drakenhof, but they might take Dromar. Huh. So the Empire is really beating down on the Vamps right now. It's not enough to really finish them, but it's enough to do some decent amount of damage. Be nice to see them consolidate a bit more, and it'd be nice to see them eliminate Drakenhof, but don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. Those are some gold veterancy, triple gold veterancy in some cases units, but I don't really feel like they're using them the best. Be nice if the dwarves took Oakenhammer back. And Mount Squighorn was just lost to the Yorks and Goblins. Like, I don't really get what the plan here is, guys. I know your forces of order and everything, but sometimes I'm wondering, why wouldn't the Empire just take Drakenhof if it could? And they're more than capable of taking it. It's kind of interesting to see that the Empire has been spreading that way, but not been. And it looks like Durthu's going off into the forest. The number of shields at the top has been slowly decreasing over the course of the last few campaign turns. There's not a lot of minor nations left. And where is Metastorm going? Going back to did they raise Qatar? Or claim it? And what is Khemri's ambition by running through our lands? Curious. So I'll have to see the Tomb Kings following the oasis paths in the desert. It's not like they really need to. The followers in Gash, are they actually going to try and take Lashik? Or are they just going to start raiding? And the Knights of Origio just failed to take Xandri. Again. They keep throwing armies away at them. And Arachnos is an Orcish force we haven't actually seen a whole lot. Are they going after the rats? Must be going after the rats. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that priest's name. Like, holy crap. And a vampire rebellion that destroyed Oakenhammer. The vamps are really in a bad situation right now.
My strength and wisdom are
Right, so we got
yours.
someone in here who's leveled up. It's the paladin that we have to find a name for here eventually. Let's make him harder to hit. So we're probably going to end up having to keep him. Let's go up north and see what they did. They haven't followed our Errantry war.
Honor before glory. Very well, I go. Guardian.
Looks like we'll have to use the Troll Fjord as our secure starting point.
You mewling fool.
We just need one city up here, no matter how minor, and on our next turn we can claim the Troll Fjord, deal with it, and use that as our launching point to invade. Was going to do Pack Ice Bay, but Wolfric coming out of the woodworks was not fun.
Do you know who I am?
For right now, let's get you within the borders of Quinnell.
Very well, if you insist.
I see my path. My sight is yours.
And we're going to get you guys to all camp up.
For now, yes.
So the Wood Elves know that we're not happy with them. I don't know where Orion is, but we'll have to deal with that as it comes. I was hoping for a good battle this time.
True knight of Bretonia.
And there's the Silver Host, the remnants of Lamia, the first vampiric civilization. That's where the Queen of Vamps is. And Lady Di has leveled up. Arcane Conduit's the best thing that we can get for her right now. We're not upgrading any settlements. We're going to try and get those tournament grounds up. Well, as soon as we can, anyway. Having this many armies this far from home is not helping. If we manage to capture the Troll Fjord, It's not got a very big garrison. It's got some ice trolls, though. It's a little worrying. Marauders with great weapons and marauder champions. Not overtly bad. And we're going to have fanaticism here pretty quick. So let's let the other nations go into their thing. And I forgot to move Ahriman, but he's still moving out in the mountains to the east, so don't gotta worry too much. The orcs really took off. I mean, they're all underneath, wow, I can picture his face, but can't picture his name. Okay. Empire troops, take Drakenhof. Yes! The vampire counts have been destroyed! No more vampires! Such a boon for us. With the undead out of the equation, we don't really have to worry too much about any corruption from that angle. Maybe the Empire will now go after the dwarves, well, not the dwarves, help the dwarves by bashing in the greenskins, or maybe they'll go after Norska. I mean, they're in a pretty good position to do whatever they want, with some fairly solid army stacks. And we're going to enter on the war side of the Allies. It looks like the Empire is at war with the orcs and goblins. And Durthu has gone through the pass and is out of the forest. Might give us an advantage if we really want to take on Quenelle. And possibly the other parts of the Wood Elves realm. Kind of hard to press them with the Athel Loren attrition, but might have to just grin and bear it. And there's the last defenders, which, yeah, Krokgar, I think his name is, their legendary lord, total, well, badass lizard man. Held an entire bridge against greater demons all by himself. Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. Seems like a lot of the southern minor nations and everything managed to hang on a lot better than the northern ones did. I mean, okay, so you guys are just gonna destroy... There we go. Knights of the Flame are gone. Man, the Empire is just one big red splotch. And we got a student. And filled with prayer, churches and chapels across the realm are reporting healthy numbers of worshippers. Those close to the enchantress say that she is pleased. If so, then surely the lady herself is also. Vampire counts and Knights of the Flame are gone. And Ahriman, we're going to give you another rank of specialist, because we're probably going to screw with the orcs a little bit, since we're at war with them now.
Their defenders will fall. Paladin of Bretonnia.
Give you the last rank of specialist, because then you can start doing a lot more.
Of the realm.
Alright, so first things first, Phoenix. Get you as close as possible.
Taking my leave. My strength
Aided
and
on.
wisdom are yours.
Get you as close as possible. You're still pretty hurt from that first big battle.
If the lady wills it, strike them down.
And Grimaldus,
Slay them.
you know, that's kind of within our range of fighting, and I wanted to battle this time, so we're going to fight this one. Is that a bright wizard that we're fighting? We're not going to gamble on 24. 24 is a great place to start. Looks like all of our reinforcements are coming from this side, but it's a nice wide open field, so all the cavalry coming on to help us out is going to be great. What we really need is some trebuchets. Blessed ones would be better, but... So we'll group our anti-infantry up. Knights of the Realm will look for those ice trolls. And as our reinforcements come in from the flank, just wait till they get on the field a little bit. This time we're not going to be able to do our typical routine of trying to keep everything nice and orderly. We're going to have to move pretty much everybody else up as quickly as possible so we can get some charges in. The bright side is that we're going to get some rear charges in on these guys too. Phoenix and Adidon, we want you guys to get up as close as you can, as quick as you can.
Hold steady.
Even more Knights of the Realm are coming onto the field.
As you say, I honor my vow.
Alright, so let's let this start to fire off a little bit. So if all these Knights of the Realm hit those Marauders, everything else move in a little bit.
Attack! Glory awaits! To victory!
And then all of these Knights Errant and Questing Knights, have you hit those great swords. Going to be aggressive this time. Try and slow them down as much as we can. And we're going to use Wisian's Wild Form to make these knights a heck of a lot tougher.
Lances down! Honor and glory!
We should win the battle over here fairly easily. It's these ones down here I'm kind of worried about. Well, the trolls are already routed.
Priestess of the Lady! Power of the Light!
Questing knights!
These guys are starting to rout down here too.
Knights of Britannia! Heroes of Britannia!
I think we've got this one fairly in the bag.
Shield high! Grail relique!
Just seems like their leader unit is the one that's holding on.
Sorceress!
And we've routed at least 2 units. The trolls are just falling back. It doesn't really matter how much damage we do here. We accomplished what we came to accomplish, and we got our... Wow, they lost exactly 500 units. That's kind of amazing. They lost all of Phoenix's army. Granted, it was mostly infantry, and those Knights Errant hitting did not help them. We are going to occupy it. And we gained a blessing. Grimaldus gained Purifier, gained a couple of items.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
Let's get you within the
Protector of the
boundaries of the city.
Yes?
We can't put you into an
Do you know
encamp
who I
stance.
am?
There's a black ark over there. Alright, so Sarfurix, who's way down in the south, we're actually going to give you specialists. We're going to have you doing some stuff here pretty quick.
True knight of Bretonia.
As soon as you've scouted out the desert ways, anyway.
The lady beckons.
And Lady Janice. So, direct damage magic missile. Another boost. Kind of a... The Flock of Doom has always bugged me. Let's grab the Amber Spear so you can be a little bit more offensive in combat. And we just got our research done, which was encourage fanaticism. Can't do temple tithes right now because it's 10,000 gold to do that. Let's go with farriers, make our knights a little bit faster. Up in the north here, what do we actually have in the Troll Fjord? I know what we're going to be putting in there. Sets our income back a little bit, but we're going to get a tribute to the lady up there. And then next turn, Phoenix and Adidon are going to go into encamp stance. It's going to take 4 turns to get that chapel in there. And then we can possibly go up to Bjornling's Gathering. Depends. It's got a fairly large garrison. We're going to have to reinforce. We're only making 633 crowns per turn. Oh, we might have to go to the war with the Wood Elves pretty quick, and I don't want to. We know that Durthu is somewhere out here. Probably going after these cities of the dwarves. Same time, I really don't want to get into a full-blown war with the Wood Elves. I mean, Quinnell will be easy to take, but if we start going after like the Waterfall Palace or Val's Anvil, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Let's use our unnamed paladin right now
Forward then.
to go scout down here. There's Orion. And that's the guy I was worried about. Lots of archers, lots of speed. It's going to be rough if we go to war with them. We may not have a choice at this point. But if the dwarves are fighting them and we're fighting them, it might work out. There's also the orcs down here that we could fight, but... Oh, there's so many things we can think about. And Ahriman... Was it this turn or last turn that we moved to? This turn. Alright, so we're going to let the other nations do their thing for this round and see exactly what they're up to. Hopefully the Empire decides to come over this way and help us out a bit. Be nice if he headed west, but can't really count on the Empire to be reliable right now, considering how long it took them to take the vampires out. Well, they are at war through Blackfire Pass. So they might send some troops through there? I'm not really sure. What I do know is we need to get a little bit more territory beyond Bretonia. Taking a piece of Norska didn't hurt, but having 3 armies up there, 3 of our generals, puts us at a little bit of a disadvantage. I mean, we have 6 army stacks. Grimgor Ironhide, that's the guy I was thinking about earlier whose name kind of escaped me. Kind of curious as to what they're doing. I'd love to see them send Orion to fight the dwarves, because if they did that, we're going to war with the Wood Elves right away. But they didn't declare on us this turn, so kinda safe. And Hexuaddle's going to war with the Vampire Coast. The last defenders are not as strong as I thought they'd be at this point. We're a heck of a lot stronger than they are, which is kind of scary if you think about it. I'd love to get a decent army stack down there and take a city, but it's not going to happen right now. And Harganeth is just going to move that black arc away. Kadeskaf? Is that how you pronounce that king's name? You know, I can never tell. Oh, there's a big war between Khemri and the followers of Nagash, which Khemri won, I think. Where are the dwarves sending that army? Well, Ziflin, anyway. So many things going on right now. So Negron and the Cult of Pleasure just had a confederation. And Sar PC, our eminent paladin, leveled up. Lord Phoenix, in camp. Lord Adadon, in camp.
If you insist. Valiant Lord.
Pullman, that's going to cut our ability to fight by a fair bit, but we should be able to build this area up. I'm hoping anyway. Now, the real question is Paravon at the point where it can defend itself should it be attacked?
Proud son of
It is. And Sarcesson, not so much. It's a really tough call if we want to go to war with the Wood Elves right now.
Ready. I assent to your order. Making my way.
But we're definitely going to make it hard on them. They can't really afford to declare war on us. Because if they do, then they got to fight a war on two fronts. But at the same time, they can't really afford not to either. Wood Elves are in kind of a bad situation.
Onwards then.
Phoenix, let's have you scout out down this way a little bit more. I'll have our to-be-named paladin wander into the forest. He won't take attrition, but armies will. There's Durthu. That's kind of what I wanted to see. And then Ahriman, who's up here.
my deeds are legend.
See if you can get over towards the water here. Because if you can find something, or at least a route that we could get in there, we could pop through here and start really kicking into the orcs and goblins, but it does mean a war with the Wood Elves is almost inevitable at this point. But that's probably a good place to call it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, be part of our community, or see yourself pop up in one of these Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.